Hey y'all, what is up? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. So my name is Chanina. If you're new here, hey. So you guys, it's mid-month. It's actually the 18th to be honest with you. And I've been working on this video for quite some time, and I wanted to wait until the right time to put it out, and I got that confirmation today when I logged into the Arise platform. So welcome you guys. That's what we're going to be talking about today basically. So if you're not new to this channel, you know we talk about this all the time, but if you're new, then you will be hearing this information for the first time. So again, my name is Chanina. I am the owner and CEO of CL Staffing Solutions. So what we do is basically connect individuals to remote work opportunities. One of the companies that we are currently partnered with is Arise Virtual Solutions, and they are able to provide all of the clients. So of course that cuts time down for us to go out and search for clients. They already have the clients available and ready. All you have to do is go through a couple of steps to get started. So we decided to partner with them almost 2 years ago now. So, but me, I've been working on the platform for now 7 years. So um, I've been enjoying it. I've been sharing the information with my family here on YouTube, and since from day one, to be honest with you. So I've literally been talking about this opportunity now for the last 7 years. So if you can't tell by now, it's something that I definitely recommend to you guys. So if you're new to the channel, um, this is going to be like a general information chit chat about what exactly I do and how you can do it too. So our virtual call center is just one part of our business. The other side of it, we do work with individuals who are small business owners to help them manage and grow their business, and to also fill positions that they may have as well. So we do recruit for other companies. So um, with that being said, our main goal here, my personal goal, is to help as many people as I can to bridge the gap in unemployment, to make additional income, whether it's through our virtual call center or any other way that we have access to. So, of course, if I have additional resources where I have some information where you can work from home outside of the Arise platform, I always share that with you guys as well. So, I just want to share the information about the Arise Virtual Solutions platform. Sorry, y'all, platform, because a lot of you has probably never heard of it. So if you've seen any of my other videos, you've probably heard me talk about how I'm working, or I had to work, or I'm just getting off of work. Well, I literally work from my home. So what I do pretty much day to day is customer service, and I just take inbound calls and I assist the customers that are calling in for a particular client. So one of the clients that I take those calls for is available on the Arise Virtual Solutions platform. So that's what I do as one of my incomes. And so that's why I like to share this information with you guys, because at one time or another, back in the day, it wasn't really talked about. And the longer that I learn the platform and the more that I'm understanding the whole structure of everything, I kind of see how some people back in the day probably think, oh, it was a scam, or it was such a secret. But the reality is, when Arise first started their company, it wasn't available for everybody to work with them. They were more so geared towards like veterans, individuals with disabilities that um, put them in a position where they're not able to leave their home. So that's why, a lot of people probably wasn't talking about it when the company first became established. But in the recent years, um, I say within the last 7 years that I know of, it's actually become more talked about. And you may have actually seen it on TV and heard other people talk about it. So it's not really one of those things where it's like on the down low anymore, because now they allow everyone to come to work on the platform. I'm not going to say anyone, because you do have to go through a background check and all of that jazz. So that could deter their decision to allow you to work on the platform. So Our virtual call center, we do not have employees. What we have are independent contractors. So basically, we bring people on board as contractors, 1099 contractors, basically meaning that we don't withhold taxes from their pay. So they pay their taxes at the end of the year versus where if it was a waged paying job like a W-2 job or a traditional 9 to 5 job where you're getting a check, um, and all of your taxes are deducted prior to you getting your pay. So that's one of the major differences. Another major difference between a wage employee and an independent contractor is an independent contractor is responsible for a lot of the like uh, a lot of things that they'll need in order to do the job, right? So that's the education, the supplies, things like that. So that's kind of how this platform is set up. It's set up for independent contractors to be able to come on there to their platform and look through all of the clients that they have available, and you'll be able to go through a certification course and then start taking live calls or providing services, client support services to their customers. So on this platform, one of the main reasons why we decided to partner with Arise is because of what they do offer. They do offer the ability to be able to go on their platform and choose what company you'd like to provide services to. They also provide the scheduling system that allows you to go and choose what times throughout the day that you like to work. So that's a huge thing that a lot of people look for when they're looking for remote positions, is being able to schedule their, or not necessarily schedule their time, but they're looking for more flexibility. So with being able to go onto the platform and create your own schedule is a big plus for a lot of people. There's also 24/7 technical support. So anytime you have a system issue or something's going on with your computer where you're not able to log into anything, there's tech support available all day, every day, even on the weekends, and they're there to give you assistance with the issue that you're having. So those are the three key things that encouraged me to go ahead and become my own business owner and partner with this company, because they've kind of eliminated a lot of the groundwork that I would have to do starting from scratch, right? So versus me going out and pitching my idea, my vision, trying to get contracts with different companies and this and that. Arise provides all of that already, right? All I'm doing is basically helping you get registered to the platform so that you can start working, right? There's also a knowledge base. So this is just your general information, how to navigate through the platform, things like that. So when you get on the platform, you're not just stuck figuring is available to you that you can use to get around the platform. There's also sessions that you can go to help you learn the platform, things like that. So ultimately, that's why I personally, outside of working on the platform prior to becoming a virtual call center, that's why I wanted to partner with them. Um, One of the things that I do want to point out to you guys outside of the flexible scheduling is the fact that you don't need any prior experience. So if you're somebody who has been out of work for a while and you feel like um, you just feel like you've been out of the workforce for a minute and you're having a hard time finding a job because of the lack of experience. This particular situation is not like that. Pretty much you can come onto this platform with no experience, because at the end of the day, everyone who comes onto the platform is going to have to take a certification course. So you know, having 5 or 10 years experience in customer service, tech support, or sales, it does help. Or even having 6 months, it does help because you already have some knowledge of what to expect when you get on the calls. But at the end of the day, you'll learn everything that everyone else is learning with that same client. So that's how you will gain your training through that, is through the certification class. So you don't necessarily need prior experience. Being able to control your income is also a plus, because of the fact that it ties in with being able to create your own schedule. I get that question all the time. Can I work full time? Can I work part time? Yes, you can. There is a minimum amount of hours that you do have to service based on the client. However, you're not limited to just the minimum. You can work as many additional hours as you need to in order to cover your expenses, your home life. So that's a great thing about this opportunity too. So if you're ever wondering, oh, well, will I make enough? It really boils down to if you're willing to work the hours to make enough, right? Because I get that question too, and I really can't answer that question because everyone's household finances are different. Everyone's expenses are different. So what I need to make a month to cover my expenses may not necessarily be the same as what you need to bring in every month to cover your expenses. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you are able to create your own schedule. If you're working the schedule that you create, then you should be able to cover the expenses that you need, right? If this is the only thing that you are doing. Now, I do have a lot of people that come on board and they're already working other jobs. A lot of them do this full time. I'm sorry, part time. They go to work full time and they do this as like a side hustle, and that's okay because that's what it's there for. It's there to either help you create additional income or to generate a new income, right? So that's the pros. There's really not a whole lot of cons, to be honest with you. Now, if you do your research about this particular platform, you're going to see, a mixture of good reviews and bad reviews. Honestly speaking, from a person that's been working on the platform for 7 years, it's every experience is going to be different, right? No two experiences are going to be the same. It just all boils down to your work ethic, how well you're taking in the information that you're learning, the troubleshooting, if you're running into tech issues, things like that. There are some people that are dissatisfied. They don't really like the platform that much, but you know what? It's okay because not everything is for everybody. So I really do encourage you guys to, if you want to just give it a try to see if it's for you, that's what I encourage. What I don't encourage is to just say it's not for you without even really giving it a shot to see. You know what I'm saying? So those are the pros and the cons to that. Now, to get started, like I said a little while ago, we do bring on independent contractors. So as an independent contractor, we are responsible for a lot of things. We're responsible for providing the equipment that we're actually going to be working on. So that's your computer, your headset, things like that. You do need a landline phone number. And some clients will require you to have a flash drive to build your systems on. I know that's a little bit of foreign language for some of you guys, but I promise you it makes a whole lot of sense if you go back. I have a whole playlist that talks about working from home, particularly with this platform, and I go into all of that. So I'll put the playlist up at the top of the screen somewhere throughout the video, the little iCard, so you guys can click on it and go through that playlist, because I can't remember how many videos I have exactly, but I'm pretty sure there's probably a little over 100 videos, because like I said, I've been talking about this particular platform for 7 years. So those are just some general things that you're going to need. Now, there are some specifics when it comes to equipment. So like the memory on your computer, the processor that you have on your computer, things like that. So what I would recommend you guys to do is go to clstaffingsolutions.com and take a look at the equipment and system requirements document so that you can compare it to what you have at your house. If you already have a computer, you can see if it'll work for you, right? All right, so let's talk about some of the clients that we do have on the portal. Arise is basically like an outsourcing company. A lot of companies go to Arise when they need help filling positions, but they want to save money on the overhead. So like for an example, let's say I have a I don't know, let's say I have a brick and mortar call center, right? But I need more agents to take calls because I have a very high call volume. And I don't have enough space in the business office or the establishment to bring in more people, nor do I want to pay for extra space to bring on more people. So I go to Arise and I say, hey, I've got this position and I need agents to work this position under a contract, right? So under a statement of work versus being hired as an employee. And basically, Arise puts all of that information on their website and they say, hey, these are the clients that are looking for agents who want to take calls from home. And you go through the process basically. You get to decide what client you want to work for or what company you want to work for. There's different class times for these certifications, so you have control of that. You can choose what works best for your schedule. So the clients that we have are well-known clients. A lot of these clients we use day to day in our own personal lives. Take a sip because my mouth is getting dry. All right, so in our own personal lives, we use a lot of these companies, right? We use the tax software, we go to their theme parks, we use their services if our cars break down on the side of the road, we book travel accommodations with some of these companies, we use their fitness subscription services, all the things, right? So there are a lot of companies who are actually using Arise to fill their positions. Okay. So there's always clients available, right? So there's never really been a time where I've been on the platform and didn't see any clients. There has been a time where I might have seen like 2 or 3 at the most, but for the most part, there's at least 5 or 6 clients available every time I go onto the platform. Now, some of the clients you'll see repeated, but that's because they have different departments that they're trying to fill. So like, for example, let's say one of our cruise clients, you might see the cruise client on there about 3 times, but they might be trying to fill positions for 3 different departments, right? If that makes sense. So yeah, that's just kind of an idea of what type of clients that you're able to work with. Again, you are able to choose. It's totally different from the traditional way of finding a job. With a traditional way or a traditional job, you normally have to go through a different process. You have to first find the job, right? See if they have any openings, then fill out their application or send in a resume, then set up an interview, wait for a call back or reach out to them to hear whether you got the job or not. Well, with this particular scenario, it's not like that, or at least with our call center, it's not like that. There are other call centers that are within the network of Arise, and everyone does their business differently. But for CL Staffing Solutions, it's definitely not like that. It's just a matter of registering to the platform so that you have a full view of what's available, and then you'll be able to choose the client that you want to provide services to, and then go through their certification program, right? Which is similar to a training program in a traditional job setting, right? But because we're contractors, these are certification programs that we actually pay for, okay? So here are some things that are going to be required of you if you do decide to come on board to CL Staffing Solutions and work on the Arise Virtual Solutions platform. As you can see, this is what we are looking for right now. We are looking for individuals who want to work from home on our behalf, providing services to customers. So you would come on as a call center agent, or I like to call my agents CSPs, client support professionals. It just sounds better. And ultimately, to come on board, you would just submit an application, there is one on the website. And salesstaffingsolutions.com, there's actually an application that you can fill out and submit your resume to on the website. And then once you do that, you go through the registration steps on the actual Arise platform. So you would be registering as a call center agent to a call center that is already within the network. It's worded a little bit differently on the actual website. I particularly don't care for the wording, so that's why I worded it like this, because it just sounds just kind of weird the way that they have it worded on the website, or on the registration application rather. So once you get registered to the platform, then you have the opportunity to shop for a client. So you're basically going through all of what we call the opportunity announcements to see what works best for you. And basically these opportunity announcements are going to tell you a little bit about the client. It's going to tell you the class times. It's going to tell you what their highest call volume peak times are, things like that. It's going to tell you what's going to be expected of you while servicing the client, what's going to be expected of you while in certification, different things like that, right? Equipment requirements, metrics requirements, so forth and so on. So when you're enrolling into a certification course, there is a short process for that. You do have to go through a series of steps. So everyone has to do this. Everyone has to go through a background check. Everyone, I recommend, goes through a PC scan to make sure that your equipment is compatible. Most of the the client enrollment processes do take you through the PC scan automatically to see if your computer is compatible. And some clients do require a drug test. So, excuse me. So there are some of you that may have to go through that as well. So once you go through all of that, there is also like a client assessment, which is ultimately like a typing test in a sense, so they're not seeing if you're the fastest typer. What they're going to be looking for, in my personal opinion, is to see how many mistakes you've made, right? Because you can be a fast typer, but if you've got a bunch of mistakes, then it's not really going to matter how fast you can type, right? So there's that. And then you go from there, and then you're in a virtual classroom. The certification courses are instructor led. Some of it is self-paced, and then you go through that part of the enrollment or certification rather. You go through a little where you're in class for a few weeks for that, or well, I'm not going to say a few weeks, it's about 6 to 8 weeks, but you're in class for a little bit, getting all of the knowledge, getting fed everything that you need to know before you jump on a live call, right? And then when you complete the certification, boom, you're done, right? That's it. Unless there's another client that you want to work for, and then you just go through the same process. So it's really as simple as that, you guys. Like, it's not really like a hard challenging thing when it comes to this. At the end of the day, it's just really gonna boil down to if this is something that you'd like to do or not, right? So I do have an email address down here. This is another place that I do take applications. But if you don't want to send me an email, you're more than welcome to actually send it through your resume on the actual website. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the certification course, because when I first started working on the platform, that used to be a question that I would see all the time, like when I was doing the research, because when I started working on the platform and I actually got into it, I already knew that I was going to transition into becoming a business owner. So while I was working on the platform, that was my opportunity to do as much research as I can, and I observed a lot in that time. And what I was observed the most at that time was there was a lot of concern about the cost of certification. There's a lot of people think, or I'm not going to say a lot of people, but there are a few people that may think that, well, why do I have to pay to work, or why do I have to pay for certification? But hopefully, if you're watching this video, by the time we've gotten to this part of the video, then you have a better understanding of why you are responsible for the cost of certification. So I like to, whenever I get that question, this is how I like to put it. When you're paying for certification, it's more like an investment. It's not really a loss. The only time it becomes a loss is if you decide to um, not complete the task at hand. You know, if you decide to not finish the actual certification course, because honestly, there's no refunds for the certification course. So if one day, you know, you wake up and you're like, oh, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, then that's really a decision that you decided to make at the end of the day. So you then forfeited your certification costs. And I'm just being honest, you know, because if you complete the actual certification, like I said, it's an investment. So you should see a return on investment, right? That's the goal when you invest in something. So when you're investing into these certification courses, if you stick throughout the whole course, excuse me, y'all. Excuse me, y'all. So if you stick with the course and you actually complete the certification course, then you will see that return on investment, right? You, at the end of the day, will get that money back. Um, so, you know, I wouldn't think too deep into that, especially, and I'm just being honest, you guys, but a lot of us spend money on things that we can't even account for. How many of us have gone to Starbucks this week? Right. So, you know, it's just really one of those things where if you want to do something, you'll do it, right? Like, no one really has to convince you. If you want to do it, then you'll do it, right? So, I did touch on a little bit about the length of the classes. Some of the classes are shorter now, but for the most part, they are going to approximately be about 6 to 8 weeks. If you take out, you know, the weekends and the holidays and stuff that might fall in between that. Well, the weekends, of course, but if there's any holidays, there's no class on holidays. So the last certification class that I took, it was literally 30 days. Like literally 30 days, and it seemed longer, but that was because we didn't have classes on the weekends. And when I say seems longer, I meant like if I was looking at it on paper like a calendar and started counting the days, it would seem like it was about 4 6, you know, 7 weeks or so, right? But it was literally 30 days. And once you're in the class, it goes by so fast. And in my experience, from what I've observed, like what I have observed, there's people that will try to rush. They don't like the fact that the classes are so long, and then they'll get in class and then they try to rush through the class and they start getting anxious, and you know, they get a little frustrated because they're ready to get to the money. But then at the end of class, what happens is those same people are like, oh man, I wish I had another week, because they see, because the reality kicks in that, okay, now it's actually time to do what you've been rushing to do, right? So it becomes overwhelming for them. So guys, the money is going to come. You just have to stick with it. You know, this is not one of those things where you start today, you get paid today, right? A traditional job is not even like that. You still have to put 2 weeks in before you get your first paycheck in most cases, right? So I wouldn't think too hard about the length of the classes, because once you get in there, it goes by really fast. Now, like I had said before, the certification classes, they are instructor led for the most part, right? But then outside of class, you do have the responsibility to continue that education with self-paced learning classwork, basically, y'all. So like homework and stuff, okay? And what it does is it prepares you for what's going to be discussed in the class the next day, right? So you're like getting a day ahead, okay? So that's what it's for. And then, of course, like I said before, you get to choose the times that work best for you. So if you see a client, all you have to do is open it up, enroll, and it'll show you the different class times that are available. Now, keep in mind, these classes fill up pretty quick, okay? And it's on a first come, first serve basis. So, you know, if you're wanting to go through the process, of getting registered, getting enrolled into a course, don't uh don't take your time with it, because there's you and a bunch of other people doing the same thing, and it's just a matter of the seats getting filled up with who sits in them first type of deal, right? So I want to bring these three things to your attention because it kind of goes hand in hand with the cost of certification. And because that was one of the things that I noticed a lot of people were struggling with. I get emails, I'm ready to start. I want to start. I want to get started. I want to work on the platform, but I have to wait until I get paid, or I have to borrow the money, or I have to do this, or I have to do that. I don't have the money right now. I got bills. I got this. And I get it. I totally get it, because guess what? Me too. You know what I mean? Like, I totally get it. Like, real talk. I totally get it, you know? So this is what I want to suggest. I want to suggest these three things. It doesn't cost anything to register to the platform. So you can register to the platform anytime, right? Now, once you get on the platform, they have what we call info sessions or information sessions, or sometimes they're worded as client info sessions. And basically this is just 30-45 minute sessions that are highlighting particular clients and giving you the general information about them. And during these sessions, the host gives out vouchers that you can apply towards a certification class. So, and they do them all the time. And sometimes the certification classes, not the certification classes, the info sessions that are offered, sometimes in order to get a voucher, all you have to do is show up. So there was one the other day, it was during the middle of the day, because they're normally about noonish Eastern Standard Time, and they were giving $10 away to everybody that showed up, right? And they gave it to you in the form of credit or a voucher, and you had to apply it towards a certification class in a certain amount of time. So that's one way, right, to cut down the cost, right? Another way is to keep checking the platform. Okay, I'm going to tell you why in a minute. We're going to get to that, right? So keep checking the platform. The third way is to take advantage of our referral program. Sales Staffing Solutions has a year-round referral program where you can invite others to the opportunity, and then they go through the process, and then you will receive compensation once they meet all of the qualifications, right? So if you're in a position where you're not able to money a little funny, and you're not able to pay for one of the classes, then you can refer other people, right? Now, I do want to say this, it is going to take a while for you to be compensated because they have to go through a process. So, but that is still an option. You know what I mean? Because you can refer as many people as you want to. That's the thing. There's no cap on how many people you can refer. So even if you never work the platform, we encourage you to work the platform, but even if you never work the platform and you just want to refer people, you can do that, right? So the fourth way, so that was the third way, the referral program. The fourth way is our certification completion program, which we've actually been offering this from day one. We just didn't market it as much, right? But then when the pandemic happened, we started marketing it a little bit more, but not necessarily here on YouTube. So our certification program basically allows you to get back the cost of your certification. You go through a process, you complete some qualifications, and then you get your money back, right? One of the things that we've added to this program is waiving admin fees. So you guys that are not new to this information know that in order to use the platform, or not in order to use it, but when you're using the platform, like actually servicing a client, then there is a platform usage fee. Now, if you're not servicing a client, there is no platform usage fee, right? Because you're not actually using the platform. But the moment that you start servicing a client, then that's when those fees start to kick in, right? Now, those fees go directly to a rise that has nothing to do with us. The only thing that I do is notate it on your invoice, right? But in addition to that, we do charge an admin fee. Most call centers do, most businesses do. Generally, you just don't know about it. But a lot of IBOs who are partnered with the Rise, we do give our agents the courtesy of letting them know, hey, there is an admin fee, instead of them being surprised about it when they get their invoice, right? So what I've done is I have set my fee to match a Rise. And the reason why I did that is because I did not go into the opportunity of being a business owner with the Rise to become a billionaire. That would be nice, right? But that wasn't my um that's not why I did this, right? The reason why I started this business was to help people. I've always wanted to help people. I just had to figure out what industry I wanted to do it in. There was a time where I thought I wanted to do it in the education field. So I was going to college to be a elementary school teacher. And then when that didn't work out, I thought, well, I can still make people feel good and look good. So let me become a hairstylist, right? Like everything that basically that I've done, I try to find something that allows me to help someone, right? So when I started to do this, that was really my ultimate goal. Like I wasn't going into it like, oh man, I'm gonna make such and such and such amount, or man, I can make, because at the end of the day, that will come later on. You know what I'm saying? Like money comes later. My heart went into this for not even for the money, right? So that's why I made the fees to match what Arise. Because at the end of the day, yes, I do want to help you guys, but at the same time, I am running a business and it costs to run the business. So but you guys get it, right? So that's just one additional thing that we've added to the program. We may add some things later, maybe next year in 2022, but that's where we're at with that right now. So let me tell you guys about the platform, because it is November the 18th, and from today through November 21st, Arise has literally made all of the certification courses free with the exception of 2 of them. So now is a good time to get started, ladies and gentlemen, especially if you were one of the people that was emailing me saying, hey, I want to get started, but I just don't have the money. Okay, now is the time to go ahead and get started, because it's not going to cost you anything. Okay, it's not going to cost you anything, but it's only going to last until the 21st, until further notice. The last time they did this, they extended it for a couple of days, but I don't know if they're going to do that this time. So you guys, like I said, every client on the Arise platform right now, is the certification course is free with the exception of 2 clients, right? So I want to get you guys, as many as I can, I want to get you guys enrolled into these classes. So, you guys know how to reach out to me. You can either go to the website, salesstaffingsolutions.com, and apply there, and you'll get an email from me really quick, because I normally try to send out my emails within 24 hours of you sending me an email. And then, the registration part of it only takes like 3 minutes, like literally. And then you'll be able to go ahead and go through the enrollment process or certification enrollment process for the client that you want to work for. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Because like I said, sometimes you just have to just share the information. I get online all the time, and so many people withhold information. They don't want to tell you the nuggets to anything. They want to charge you for everything, and honestly, it's really not that deep. It's so many people hurting right now, so many people struggling right now. Like, it's not going to benefit me to keep all of this information in. None whatsoever. So why not share it with you guys? You know what I mean? I'm just an average mom who works from home, and I'm just sharing what I do with you guys, basically. So yeah, If you guys are interested, just go to the website, or you can send me an email and I'll respond. And if you're not part of the family, you guys go ahead and join the channel by subscribing, because I don't only just talk about a rise, I do vlogs and stuff like that, because like I said, I'm just a regular schmegula mama. And turn on your notifications so that you're getting up notifications to all of the videos that I upload, because I know with the notification bell you have the option to choose all, or what's the other one? Well, choose all, y'all, okay? Because what happens is if you don't choose all, then you won't get notifications for any uploads that are not related to this particular topic. You'll just get the ones that are related to this particular topic. So if you're here and you want to stick around to see what else I drop, then go ahead and hit subscribe and turn your notification bell to all. Leave a comment down below, say hello, and I will see you guys on another video. Bye.